The story of the Mercedes-Benz M-Class in Europe truly begins around the year 2000 with the facelifted W163 generation. Originally launched in 1997, the SUV was the brand's first attempt at a luxury off-roader. The European facelift of 2001 addressed early criticism of poor interior quality and added more advanced safety. The W163 was still built on a ladder-frame chassis with a body-on-frame design, using fully independent suspension, double wishbones up front and a multi-link rear. All versions had 4-motage permanent all-wheel drive with a 50/50 torque split and low-range gearing. The engine lineup was broad. Petrol units started with the ML230 M111.974, 2.3 inline-4, 150 horsepower, followed by the ML320 M112.942, 3.2 V6, 218 horsepower, ML430 M113.942, 4.3 V8, 272 horsepower, and the later ML500 M113.964, 5.0 V8, 292 horsepower. Diesels were critical for Europe. The ML270 CDI owned 612.963, 2.7 inline-5, 163 horsepower, and the very rare ML400 CDI owned 628.963, 4.0 V8, 250 horsepower and 560 Nm. Transmissions included the 722.65 speed automatic 5G Tronic and, on entry-level versions, a 5-speed manual. In 2001 came the legendary ML55 AMG W163.174 powered by the M113.985 5.5-liter naturally aspirated V8 producing 347 horsepower and 510 Nm. It sprinted to 100 km/h in just 6.8 seconds, making it one of the very first super SUVs. The AMG version also had sportier suspension tuning, larger brakes, and unique bodywork. The facelift of 2001-2002 further improved quality: new bumpers, revised headlamps, a better finished dashboard, and crucially, the introduction of ESP stability control. By 2005, the second-generation W164 arrived, marking a radical departure. Mercedes abandoned the ladder frame in favor of a unibody construction, instantly improving handling, refinement, and safety. The suspension remained fully independent, but the highlight was the optional Airmatic air suspension, offering adjustable ride height and adaptive damping. Off-road packages introduced 2-speed transfer cases, diff locks, and advanced traction control, keeping the ML capable beyond the road. The W164 engine family was vast. Petrol units included the ML280 M272.943, 3.0 V6, 231 horsepower, ML350 M272.967, 3.5 V6, 272 horsepower, and ML500 M273.963, 5.5 V8, 306 horsepower. The diesel side offered the ML280 CDI owned 642.940, 3.0 V6, 190 horsepower, ML320 CDI owned 642.940, 224 horsepower, and the rare ML420 CDI owned 629.912, 4.0 V8, 306 horsepower, 730 Nm. The transmission was the new 722.97 speed automatic 7G Tronic across the range. In 2006, the ML63 AMG W164.177 made headlines. It used the all-new M156.982 naturally aspirated 6.2-liter V8, producing 510 horsepower and 630 Nm. With a 0 to 100 km/h sprint in 5.0 seconds, it was the most powerful SUV on sale globally at the time. AMG models featured reinforced Airmatic sport suspension, wider track, and unique body enhancements. The 2008 facelift of W164 brought redesigned bumpers, updated headlights with clear lenses, LED tail lamps, and a higher quality interior. Technology improved with Command APS infotainment and new driver assistance systems. Engines were updated. The ML350 CGI M272 KE35, 292 horsepower with direct injection. The ML350 CDI Blue FSI CY owned 642.820, 231 horsepower, later 265 horsepower and improved petrol and diesel economy. In 2011, the third-generation W163 debuted, based on the modular SUV architecture also shared with the GL. Size increased, refinement reached new levels, and handling benefited from electric power steering and the refined airmatic suspension. The groundbreaking active curve system used electro-hydraulic anti-roll bars to reduce body roll. The diesel lineup for Europe included the ML250 Bluetech owned 651.924, 2.1 inline 4 biturbo, 204 horsepower, and ML350 Bluetech owned 642.826, V6, 258 horsepower. Petrol options were the ML350 CGI M276.952 V6, 306 horsepower, and ML500. The Turbo M278.928 V8, 408 horsepower. Transmissions remained 7G Tronic Plus, later evolving to 9G Tronic 722.9 to 725.0. In 2012, AMG launched the ML63 AMG W166.074 with the M157.9815.5 biturbo V8. Initially with 525 horsepower and 700 Nm, rising to 557 horsepower and 760 Nm with the Performance Pack, and up to 585 horsepower and 800 Nm in later editions. This dropped the 0 to 100 km/h time to 4.7 seconds. A rare gem was the ML500 CDI owned 629 V8. 381 horsepower and 760 Nm, a diesel powerhouse mainly for Europe. By 2015, Mercedes refreshed W166 with new headlights, bumpers, and interior tech, while renaming it to GLE to align with the brand's SUV naming strategy. The GLE 500e plug-in hybrid M276 V6 Plus electric motor, 442 horsepower combined, became the first PHEV of the series. At the same time, the GLE Coupe C292 launched, targeting the BMW X6. It included sporty models like the GLE 450 AMG Sport M276 V6, 367 horsepower, and the wild GLE 63 AMG and AMG SM157 biturbo V8, up to 585 horsepower. The W167 generation arrived in 2019, marking the biggest technological leap yet. Built on the MHA platform, it introduced e-active body control, a 48V-based fully active suspension capable of independently controlling each wheel, reducing roll, pitch, and squat, and even allowing the car to bounce itself free from sand. This was paired with 9G Tronic 725.0 transmissions and the latest 4MATIC systems. Engines included the GLE 300D owned 654, 245 horsepower GLE 350D owned 656 inline 6, 286 horsepower GLE 400D owned 656, 330 horsepower petrol units like the GLE 450 M256 inline 6, 367 horsepower with EQ boost mild hybrid in GLE 580 M176 V8, 489 horsepower. Plug-in hybrids such as the GLE 350 owned 654 diesel plus electric, 320 horsepower combined, up to 100 km electric range further expanded the lineup. At the top stood the AMG GLE 63 S4 Motich Plus W167.197 powered by the M177 4.0-liter biturbo V8 with EQ boost, delivering 612 horsepower and 850 Nm. With a 0 to 100 km/h time of 3.8 seconds, it rivaled supercars. The 2023 facelift of W167 updated exterior styling with new headlights and grille, refreshed the cabin with the latest MBUX infotainment, and improved plug-in hybrids with larger batteries offering up to 100 km EV range. The AMG models retained their dominance, keeping outputs over 600 horsepower. From 2000 to today, the M-Class, later GLE, has evolved from a rugged, body-on-frame SUV with inline-5s and V8 diesels, into a hyper-advanced luxury SUV with mild hybrids, plug-ins, and 600-plus horsepower AMGs. Each generation moved further towards refinement and technology, while still offering off-road credibility, and in AMG form, supercar-like performance. It remains one of the most influential premium SUVs ever sold in Europe.